All right, we're going to jump right into it. Let's talk
do it.
about the Oscars. So according to the Los Angeles Times, they're being scrutinized for their shortcomings on diversity, Lee.
Yeah, mostly for excluding black women when it comes to great performances. This is the Los Angeles Times saying this, not me. Honors, according to them, black women were poised, say that word for me. Poised to earn several nods for Best Actor, specifically Viola Davis, for her role in Woman King. I personally didn't think she was going to get nominated because she already has one. And when you already have an Oscar, sometimes you don't get a nomination. But her role in this film was significant.
Well, that's not
I think
fair.
the director, Gina Prince Blythewood, she's the one that should have got nominated for this movie. She has made some epic films, including Beyond the Lights. She makes good movies. Love and Basketball.
Oh, yeah.
And of course now, The Woman King. But she did not even come in the conversation, which is just interesting. Also, let's talk about this one. Danielle Detweiler, who portrayed Mamie Till in this historic and powerful film called Till. It was directed by Chinonye Chukwu. Now, sadly, none of the people were recognized in this category. This disappointed many, and particularly the director, Chukwu. Now, she said on Instagram and said she expressing her belief that the film was ignored by the Academy due to its commitment of, quote, upholding whiteness. That's what she said, and unabashed misogyny towards black women. Quote from Chinonye Chukwu, who is the director of Till. Now, I interviewed her for that movie. I commended her on what she put in the film and what she chose to not put in the film, which was a definite choice, which is the violent scene with Emmett Till when he's actually losing his life. She did it in such a tasteful way that it made me say thank you to her when I talked to her. Now, is she right? I think she used harsh wording, but maybe there's something there. Maybe the Oscars is about to go through some of the similar things that the Golden Globes did. With that said, there's a movie called Causeway with Brian Tyree Henry, who is the co-star with Jennifer Lawrence. Performance is great, got nominated for Best Actor, good job. Angela Bassett, nominated for Best Supporting Actress for Wakanda Forever. Again, so you can't say African Americans are shut out, but you can say, I'm surprised Till didn't make it in multiple categories, that it did not.
How do you separate this so that the conversation is the one that the director is trying to have, the one that we are going to open up here? And how do you separate that from any time someone is not happy about their movie not being nominated, that they pull the race card, because that is not what this is. That's not what it seems to be.
I hope it's not what it is.
Behind the scenes.
Right.
Yeah.
I hope it's not what it is, because, you know, she has a legit gripe. But then again, when it comes to award shows, I always say it's subjective. It really is. It's how you campaign for the movie. Did her movie studio campaign for her and that movie to win enough for them to get the attention of the people who are voting? And honestly, that is what it comes down to a lot of times. And if you want to say this, what she's saying right now, say it before the Oscar nominations come out. Say it 2 months ago to make sure it doesn't happen. Don't go sour grapes and say it now. Now, I agree with you saying what she's saying, perhaps. Yeah. But say it 3 months ago.
Well, and I don't recall the name of the movie, but the Marilyn Monroe movie on Netflix, Blonde. That in terms of buzz, and so you also have to explain, I guess, what goes into voting, because it's not the most popular movie, or it's not necessarily, you know, something that was #1 on Netflix for a certain amount of time. I don't know if those are really metrics that go into it, but that movie didn't get a lot of buzz, and all the buzz it did get was for all the wrong things.
Got multiple Razzie nominations.
Yeah, which is for the worst movies that are made.
Yeah, but I will say,
and that was nominated. That actress was nominated.
She was nominated, and her performance is amazing as Marilyn Monroe. But the movie around her, I don't even know if it's worth watching, to be honest with you, because it's a tough movie. It should be almost rated X, so not a lot of people would watch it because some of the things. it's a embellished version of her life. So even the author of the book that it's taken from says, this is not true. We don't know these things happened to Marilyn Monroe. And there are some shocking things that happen in the movie. So that is probably why that movie went the route it did. But she did get a nomination. I was surprised she's in, and that Danielle Detweiler is not. The stuff that happens in that movie, Till, is factual. Her portrayal of Mamie is amazing. And she should be in the conversation, but you can't hold it up to, and I think the Oscars, this is to their fault, you can't hold it up to one award system to get your validation. She will probably be in the Image Award conversation, as she should be. She'll probably Critics' Choice conversation.
The Oscars opens doors.
It absolutely does.
You know,
but so does a great performance.
Yes, but, well, right, but it didn't pan out for them. Okay, let me ask you this. Do you feel like, because I love The Woman King, you mentioned it was great. It was phenomenal. I loved it. Do you feel like audiences or movies like that have a mixed audience, or because when I went to go see it, it was only people of color in the theater. So do enough people care about basically black movies, or movies that have black leads or tell black stories?
And my answer to that is yes, if it's a universal story that resonates. And it has to do with the zeitgeist, the mood of the time. And you can point straight to Black Panther. That movie, all black, did very well. Wakanda Forever, doing great numbers. The Woman King was a movie that is based in truth. And a lot of people, even before the movie was out, was saying, this specific tribe that we're talking about sold people into the slave trade, and that is not talked about except for a few lines in that movie. And I think that was a big knock for the film. Also, when you start talking about African tribes and all these specific things, I don't know if it got the right publicity, because a lot of times the publicity for a movie is what gets people's attention and gets them in the theater. And your publicity campaign, like Black Panther, it was a superhero movie. Not it was a black superhero movie, even though black's in the title. This one, Woman King, was, I don't know if their advertising was accurate to get that broad audience. And was it a good film? Yes, great performances, good film, all of that stuff. But when I saw the marketing and the movie, I said from the when it hit that weekend, I don't think it's going to get an Oscar nomination.
Yeah, that's what you said from the beginning. And you were right.